Alright people, I don't know if this is too loud or whatever. Don't think so. Listen to this little bit of peroxide, goa, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, fuck, I realized my thoughts are ADD as fuck when I watched that last video. The next one was only gonna be in about a week or so, but after watching that I've realized that holy shit guys, my train of thought is ADD as fuck. So I'm gonna do this one. I basically watch that and put some notes on my shit that I'm gonna just touch on. So that's why I'm looking at my phone, by the way, because I can't remember shit and there's too much going on in my brain to remember shit, you know. That's why we got phones and text files and everything's for a reason. Let's find space for this. Cool. So like, I basically went through that video and anything I said I was going to talk about that I landed up not because I got distracted. I'm going to touch on that shit now. So there were a few things. Oh yeah, the brain file system. I enjoyed that. I touched on that and I didn't even touch it a little bit. Basically, people don't know how their brain works. Memory, that sort of thing. I don't know much. I've got my own little concept that you'll hear now. I believe the brain's like a file system. So like a hard drive. If you've been using a hard drive for a few years, you know it gets fragmented. What that basically means is you've got a disk, and instead of one file, all your music there, all these files there, and everything in one piece of the disk, you've got little bits all over the show. And your hard drive knows where it is. It's got a filing table that it tells it where all that stuff is. But you can sometimes defrag your machine. And that basically goes and puts like with like, and it puts everything next to each other, and you sometimes save a bit of space, but often speed up your machine. So we need to defrag our minds every now and then, and I find I'm going to start getting into this. I've always had this theory, but I've never done it. Meditation and all of that shit. I can't sit still for an hour. Like, it's never been something I've been able to do. I'm going to start though, because I think if we spend half an hour to an hour a day filing our memories, we could become insane beings. I mean, like I said, my memory is a bit weird, so I'll get a glimpse of a memory and it jumps into head or whatever. But now, if we sit for an hour and we're like, okay, cool, I tasted that pasta today, look at your mind, just go inside your head if you can do that, if you can't visualize going inside your head, and think of it as files and files of fucking filing cabinets, like these metal cupboards over here. You've got food ones, you've got color ones, you've got sound ones, and throughout your life you basically built that up, and that's who you are. I'm a firm believer of we are aware of everything and everyone we meet. You're not who you are without every person you've ever met. You know, like that little bit, that dude that said fuck you to you in school changed you like you will not believe. The butterfly effect, I'll touch on that on another video, reminding myself. So yeah, that's that. I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about. Brain filing system. Okay, so imagine a filing system and then go through your day, you guys. Go through, if you tasted some amazing food, physically think that you're going to put that flavor of that tomato pasta, which I'm going to buy later. I couldn't stop thinking about that fucking the whole night last night. I'm going to go buy some just now. Take that flavor of that tomato penne arrabbiata with a bit of chilies and fucking olives and put it inside your flavor filing cabinet. And you'd be amazed. Well, I don't know yet, but I can fucking guarantee you your memory will improve. 10 years down the line, if someone says, how does tomato pasta taste? You've got all those things, you know, okay, cool, go to that filing cabinet. And you're visualizing it. There's not actually a filing cabinet, but it helps the memory relate to the memories. Your mind is fuck powerful. It's got everything from your birth in it. You remember your birth. your brain just doesn't tell you that you remember it. So it basically just gives you an easy access. It's like the desktop. Make your desktop for your brain. Have your shortcuts. Know that, okay, cool, that's logos. I mean, my sister had that app that it shows half logos and half slogans, and you've got to think of the company. And fuck, she sat there just showing me them. I'm like, that. Because I've got a fucking filing system for logos. So as soon as I know that's a logo, I'm not looking at my entire brain's pictures. I've got those separated. I don't think, okay, phone. No. There's just LG. There's Samsung. There's fucking, what other brands are there? Bongalong. And that's what it is, man. File your fucking system. Next, baby. I'm going to talk on low temp dabbing, but when I'm dabbing, I'm going to have that after the smoke. The other concept of Alan Watts, I mentioned his concept of breathing, but I didn't get onto the other concept I really enjoy. So it leads on to the breathing. Are you breathing, or is breathing happening to you? I mean, I'm going to try and make this video 20 minutes or 30 minutes, fuck. And it's a weird concept, because that, I think, is the point of meditation. To realize that it's a happening of happenings. You are both breathing, but it is also happening to you. Fuck, goosebumps. You actively inhaling, actively holding, and actively exhaling. But at the same time, when you're not actively doing it, it fucking happens. I'm exhaling right now while I'm talking, and I breathe in between, you know. So it's a happening of happenings. And if we look at life like breathing, I feel we could fix the world's problems today. Your car didn't break down to happen to you, it just happened. You didn't break your leg broke. Fuck, for those of you that are going through addiction, you're not addicted to that drug. It's just something that's happening. You can stop the happenings, you can go with the happenings, you can appreciate the happenings. But I feel this thing we call life is just a happening of happenings, if that makes any fucking sense. So what the fuck are we? What is this? What's the point? And that's the point. There is no point. It's just happening. It's that, you know? So that's that. And then, I didn't even touch on the concept. You see how fucked my ADD is. So the concept is that you make your world. You guys could all be made up. I could be in a bed somewhere in a coma, essentially. And is the world sending its information to you, or are you creating the world? And that's a concept that it takes a lot of... I've kind of grasped it due to psychedelics, but I guess you could get there through meditation and all that. But basically the idea is that without me touching this desk, the desk's not hard. Without me receiving the light from the sun and bouncing off these tables, they don't exist. So until I touch my phone, until I smoke this guy, until my body, I don't know, gets in touch with that thing's energies, that thing, it doesn't exist. So am I making the table hard because I'm soft? Yes. It's not hard, because if I took a diamond and I scratched it, it's fucked. Relativity, guys. Yin yang. There's no light without dark. There's no hard without soft. There's no hot without cold. The only reason you feel cold is because the ambient temperature is lower than your body. It's not actually cold. It's just lower than you are. I think it had a little bit. Okay. Old age. I'm not going to die of old age. Transendance. Very touchy topic. I mean, I was at a Mensa talk once, and that Mensa is interesting. You've got a room full of 40 people with an IQ of above 140 arguing with each other. It's fun because you realize with that sort of intellectual capacity, no one's arguing with the person, you're arguing with the ideas. And it becomes a really beautiful happening. I need to start going back to those talks. And there was one on transcendence and singularity, and you must have seen the movie Transendance. It's basically that. And you've got very different opinions on transcendence. So I believe I'm gonna do it. If someone else doesn't do it, I will before I die, and I'll upload my consciousness into a computer. Spirituality, religion, they don't like that sort of idea, because you are not just your ideas, there's something else to it. Like I said, energies and all that. The atoms don't give a fuck, but the energies do. And religion, you think, okay, cool, now you think you're God. You think you can create human. You can, guys. That's the thing. All we are is a processor. The nanometers on processors right now, each chip is almost the size of a human hair. When we get that down to the size of a human brain cell, we will literally be able to create consciousness. That's my belief, at least. Or something that can think enough to think it's conscious. And what is conscious? Can you explain why you conscious? Not a fuck, and that's why you conscious. A little bit of a play there. You conscious because you don't know why you're conscious. And that's what makes you conscious. Okay, so I believe we can upload our consciousness onto a computer, or memories, or whatever makes me me. Hence the robot arm. I wanted this shit since I was fucking a kid, and as soon as I had the money, I got it. I designed it myself. It's a robotic arm that's got skin ripped through it, with a yin-yang that looks like it's been spray painted on the metal. Along this crossbar, there's going to be a scratched look of a tattoo, like scratched in metal type of thing, like almost scratched on with a metal bar, with 77,420, because those are my numbers. This top piece here is going to be green, because I'm green inside. I don't know if y'all knew that. Like when I cut myself, it's green. And yeah, so robotic arms, robotic bodies, I don't see a point of having this meat. It's so fucking inferior. And yes, our bodies are inferior. They get sick, they get cut, they get hurt, they get everything. Imagine if I could take my consciousness and be a fucking robot, man. The only thing that would stop me is rust. And I do believe in that. That's a weird concept of mine. I've got no backing behind it, but I think oxygen kills us. I think it's the reason why we age, because oxidation, man. Look at oxygen around metal. It rusts. That is only because of oxygen. And I believe that we oxidizing our bodies, and that's what old age comes from. So before I die of that shit, I'm going to upload my consciousness, or at least create something that holds my brain in a good enough biological condition that the rest of my robotic body doesn't give a fuck. So yeah, that's that. And then the other way I wanted to die, it's quite epic, and it's weird because something similar happened to me. I don't surf for anything, but if I died, I want to die either that lab explosion I explained last time, or in a shark attack. I want to be standing on a surfboard. I want a shark to jump out the water, bite my head off, but somehow my head turns around a little bit, and I see my body standing on the surfboard. Like, how epic would that be? And I say something similar happened because with racing drones, you basically look at it, what the drone sees. You can wear goggles, you can wear screens. I like a screen. The goggles are too submersive for me. Like, it's creepy. It's like you're tripping balls without drugs. And I was sitting in a park once, dead center in the middle of the park, and I race around the park. That was a really fun place to be. This puss, fucking Jared. You should visit me. We're setting up Mello's tent here at my house. That motherfucker phoned me to ask me something. Like, who the fuck phones me to ask me something? I thought he was at my house. Yes, what a puss. Don't ever fucking phone me to ask me something. Send me a fucking message. Ever. I don't like voice notes, phone calls, all that shit. It's too urgent. And like, I can't listen to a voice note about weed in the staff room. And fuck, man. Don't fucking voice note me. Or phone me. But yeah, that's Jared. He's coming through just now. I'm near to dab quick. What was I talking on? I have no idea what I was talking. Shark attack. Oh yeah, I was flying a drone, flying around the park, and I basically banged the one corner a bit hard. So I had to almost drift my drone. So I was flying that direction but looking that way. And now if you think about the drone, you only got about a 60-70% field of view. It's not like human peripheral vision or anything. You're looking there and you only fucking see there. And then as I straightened the drone, I hit a tree. But the weirdest fucking thing happened, bro. My first person view camera broke off the drone, and my drone flew away from it. So I could see myself flying away from me, and that was pretty creepy. Yeah, and I wanted to talk about the robbery. I didn't show you guys the green stick and all that. The thing with that I have, the problem I have with, sorry, someone sent me a message there, I had to just check. With those robbers was, I'm the type of guy, if you woke me up, it was 1:30 in the morning. If you woke me up and you told me you were hungry, I would have got your food. So it made me sad that they found that they needed to stab me to get something when I would have given it to them, you know? I'm that guy. I always tell people, don't steal my money, ask for it and I'll give it to you. It's a weird thought, but if I have it, it's there. I'm not materialistic really. I've got a lot of shit, but I'm not materialistic. If I can help, it's honestly, I mean, I've been called, I was called once by a chick that I'd only ever seen once at midnight to give her a lift from Santon because she had no other options. So I was just like, okay, if you're calling me and we've never even spoken to each other, you're desperate. So I climbed in my car and I fucking picked her up. I mean, shit. So if I can help, I will. So if you guys ever need help, holla. So yeah, that was my thing. I would have fed those robbers and they stole from me. Which isn't so I don't have my fucking grinder for carb cap right now. And then I'll explain how it works, low temp dabbing and all that in a few seconds. This one's going to be a bit hotter. That was a bit hotter than yesterday, it was nice. Okay, so basically with dabbing, the funny story I was going to tell you yesterday about the dabbing, when I said, the first time I made dabbing, the concept behind that, was that dab was so new in this country. We made it and we didn't know how to smoke it. First put it on a pipe and we're like, okay, but what's the point? You've taken the herb out and now you're just putting it back on herb. So we went to China Mall, we bought a dab bong and we didn't know how to work it, so we put the oil in the quartz banger and we're heating it up with a normal lighter and it's not fucking working. That was a normal quartz nail. So it was just running down the nail and eventually we admitted defeat and we googled how to hit a dab. So yeah, that's the story. But the idea behind it is that with your higher temp dabs, I've never liked the red hot dab. I mean, I've seen people do that. That's stupid. You're burning your lungs. With a decent temp dab, you vaporize the dab as it hits the nail, which is nice and all that, but sometimes it's a bit hot on the throat. With a low temp dab, you basically get the nail so low that it barely vaporizes the dab. And that's why you see me moving. That's what I want to explain to you guys. Why do you do that moving? And that's why you need a low temp banger. Carb cap. It spirals the air. So you've got dab, and where it is, it's cooled that quartz down. So it's not vaporizing anymore. But if you spiral it onto the slightly hotter pieces, you start vaporizing it. And that's why when I'm not pulling, there's barely any smoke coming. But when I'm pulling, it's moving that dab around and it starts to vaporize. You're getting hot air over cold air and you get that rotation within the dab nail. and you get amazing profiles and all of that. And you saw now when I heated it up, there was a lot of smoke coming off the banger. That was because yesterday's one was push low temp. Not all of it vaporized, but you get such nice flavor. So I don't mind even wasting half my dab because I get such nice flavor profiles. And I still get stoned because I've got lots of dab. So yeah, that's low temp dabbing. Let's go. Green stick, yes. Look at this fucking beast. Look at this thing. So the first one was basically a wooden dowel stick covered in green duct tape. And the thing I was going to tell you guys yesterday was, it's funny what you put out is what comes in. So the weekend before I did the whole stabbing story, not I did, it happened. Happening of happenings. I didn't get stabbed. My body just got a hole in it, essentially. A big one. Actually a small hole, but the fact that it got into my lungs was bad. I told my friends, they laughed at me. They're like, what's that? And it used to sit at the door. It was like, it's just slightly longer than this. And it was like, what's that? And I was like, man, that's the green stick, man. Anyone fucks with Graham, they're getting the green stick, bro. Like, that was, and it was a joke, but a serious joke. And that was Saturday, and fucking Tuesday night, these motherfuckers broke into my house, and that stick saved my life. That's what I was saying. I ditched the taser, and I fucked up 4 grown men, 1 man, at 1:30 in the morning with a stab wound in the back. I didn't know I had a stab wound, by the way. I have no idea. I can give you my story account of that thing. Like, I remember it like I'm watching it right now, essentially. It's one of those memories that I could never get it out of my head. And the entire fight, from when they came into my house and I fucked the one up, he was out on the floor, and I chased the others out through the garden and all of that. I eventually called my neighbor, and I was climbing over the fence to go. My phone got full of memory. The memory was full. So yeah, where was I? I was saying I'd call my neighbor. I was climbing over the fence. I was gonna tie those motherfuckers up and call the cops. You know, I was gonna catch them. Like, even if I had to run to the nearest township, I was gonna catch those guys. And as I was climbing over the fence, the bottom of my shirt was wet. So I was just like, dude, quickly check why my shirt's wet. And yeah, he's like, yeah, you got a hole in your shirt and a lot of blood coming out of it. I didn't feel it up until then. That's where the game kind of just I had like this vision of game over come in my head. Got to the hospital. They got lost on the way to the hospital, my neighbors. I had to use my own GPS to find my way to hospital holding a stab wound, which was fun. I ordered some nice fucking penne arrabbiata with extra olives and feta. It's gonna be fucking amazing. I love this new house I live in. They fucking, my favorite Italian restaurant delivers here. Like, fuck. It's so amazing. And yeah, I don't cook. Anyone that, I can cook like a beast. Like, trust me, my omelets, I'll cook you something like it's airy as fuck. You bang it. Cooking is science, by the way, and I'm good at science. But I don't believe I should cook. And it's something I kind of really dealt with during my depression, was I didn't want to cook. I don't cook. I'm not a cook. It's a waste of time. I don't like cleaning dishes. I don't like doing all that shit. And a lot of people think I'm bad for that and think I'm wrong and say it's unhealthy. And fuck, what makes you think you can cook healthier food in your kitchen than Luigi over there, Penny, whatever? But I believe everyone's good at what they're good at, and everyone should do what they're good at. That's why I believe everyone needs residual income to cover your food and your rent, baby. And then you do what the fuck you want. Like, I go to work for fun. I only start work next week, but I Ubered to work the other day because I was listed to build some drones. And that's why I've quit my corporate job and I've gone back to the drones. I dip in more than half of my salary, but I don't care because I'm Bitcoin mining. And that's what I think that all society needs. I don't know what else even on right now. Fuck. So yeah, I ordered some of that. Everyone's good at what they're good at. That's the thing. So I'm good at this, talking shit to people, information. I'm good at making websites, building things, growing weed, all that. There's a lot of shit I'm good at, and I get paid for it. So what's wrong with me paying someone that's good at making pasta to make some pasta for me, you know? Like, bang, shit, McDonald's makes nice burgers, I buy some Maggie D's burgers, I like chicken, I get some Nando's, you know? Like, why the fuck must I cook it if they cook it better? Like, for instance, if their drone stopped working, they're not going to learn how to fucking fix a drone. They need tools, they need to do all that sort of shit. You need to learn it, you need tools. But instead, you come to Graham and you fucking say, Graham, please fix my thing. And I'll be like, cool, you pay me for this, I'll pay you for the pizza, you know? Talking so much from fucking smoke's going out. I need to make this quick, like 4 minutes, because my video was too long. I just want to quick, I just needed to close up, you know. Where the fuck is that? The Psytrance is banging, guys. Touch. Okay, sweet, yeah, I touched on everything. Fucking awesome. So that concludes volume 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The volume 2, let's call it 1.5. Because I was finishing up that shit. Yeah, sweet. Peace, guys. I'm losing my mouse to fucking stop the video and I'm recording with my phone. My webcam doesn't work. I got a Microsoft webcam from fucking 10 years ago. It isn't compatible with Windows. Fuck you, Microsoft. How the fuck